The bridge of the Terran Alliance warship, Defiant, was a flurry of activity. Captain Nathan Reed stood at the command console, his gaze fixed on the view screen where the stars stretched into the darkness of space. Beside him, his second-in-command, Lieutenant Marco Silva, monitored the incoming data with a keen eye. "Captain, we're picking up an anomaly at Sector 943 by 28, Marco reported, his voice cutting through the hum of the ship. Nathan nodded, peering at the readings. Analysis. Marco tapped a few commands into his console. Unknown. It doesn't match any known ship or natural phenomenon. It's just appeared on our radar. Could be a malfunction, suggested Ensign Kyle, the young navigation officer. Nathan shook his head. Run diagnostics. I don't take chances with anomalies. As Kyle confirmed the integrity of the sensors, a shape began to materialize on the view screen. It was unlike any vessel they had seen, sleek, almost organic in design, glowing with an ethereal light. That's no malfunction, Nathan murmured. Hail them, Communications Officer Gomez. Officer Gomez, a man of few words but precise actions, initiated the hail. The bridge crew waited in anticipation, but only static returned. Nathan's eyes narrowed. Try again, Gomez. And keep it open. Sir, I'm getting something, Gomez announced. His console lit up, translating the garbled noise into coherent speech. The alien voice that filled the bridge was smooth and oddly melodic. Greetings, Terran vessel. We observe your armament. Amusing, isn't it? Such primitive crafts. The crew bristled at the comment. Nathan maintained his composure. This is Captain Nathan Reed of the Terran Alliance warship, Defiant. To whom are we speaking? A laugh, rich and deep, echoed through the speakers. I am Thalrek of the Varelians. We roam the stars, seeking enlightenment. Your vessel is an antique to us. Nathan exchanged a look with Marco, who shrugged subtly. Despite the insult, this was still a first contact situation, and diplomacy was crucial. Nathan replied, Every ship has its story, Thalrek. We are explorers and peacekeepers of our region. Peacekeepers with warships, Thalrek mused. A contradiction. Not at all, Nathan countered. We prepare for the worst but hope for the best. We extend an invitation to you to discuss our potential common interests. There was a pause, then Thalrek replied, Curious proposal, Captain Reed. We shall consider it. Meanwhile, continue your patrolling. As the connection ended, Nathan turned to his crew. Thoughts? Marco frowned. They're testing us, seeing how we react to being called primitive. Nathan nodded in agreement. Then let's not react as they expect. Prepare a cultural exchange package. If they think our technology is primitive, let's show them the depth of our culture. Lieutenant Silva grinned. A different kind of armament. Exactly, Nathan said, his mind racing with possibilities. Let's show them what being human is all about. The crew set to work, each member motivated by the challenge. It wasn't just about proving the Varelians wrong, but about bridging a gap between two civilizations with the vastness of space between them. The tension aboard the Defiant was palpable as Captain Nathan Reed and his crew prepared to host the Varelian delegates. The alien vessel now loomed large on the view screen, a magnificent ship with fluid, dynamic contours that dwarfed the more utilitarian human warship. Have all preparations been made for the reception? Nathan asked, scanning the busy bridge crew. Lieutenant Marco Silva nodded, adjusting the data pad in his hands. All set, Captain. The cultural artifacts are in the display area, and the culinary team is ready with a menu you approved. Good, Nathan replied. Let's hope our hospitality can smooth over their earlier critique. Ensign Kyle joined them, his youthful enthusiasm barely contained. Do you think they'll really try our food, sir? I mean, their biology might not be compatible. We've prepared a variety of dishes based on the preliminary scans of their biochemistry, Marco answered. It's as safe and as inviting as we can make it. Nathan smiled, appreciating the efforts. It's the thought that counts, Kyle. Let's be gracious hosts. The moment the Varelians arrived, the atmosphere shifted. Led by Thalrek, the aliens glided through the Defiant's corridors with an elegance that was almost mesmerizing. Their movements were fluid, their expressions unreadable. Welcome aboard the Defiant, Nathan greeted, extending a hand, which Thalrek regarded curiously before mimicking the gesture. Captain Reed, your vessel is quaint, Thalrek said, his voice lilting with an unplaceable accent. We are intrigued by your invitation. We hope to share a bit of our culture with you today, Nathan replied, guiding their guests towards the display area. Humanity has a rich heritage of art, music, and culinary delights. As they walked, Officer Gomez, who had taken a keen interest in Varelian communication styles, attempted to engage another delegate. I've read that your people value knowledge above all. What forms of art do you have? The Varelian, a tall figure named Relcher, turned its bright eyes on him. Art, as you call it, is not our pursuit. We seek enlightenment through understanding the cosmos. Perhaps our art can offer a new perspective, Gomez suggested, showing them a series of paintings from Earth's Renaissance period. Thalrek paused before a holographic display of Earth's natural wonders. You cherish beauty. Interesting. Nathan watched carefully, noting the Varelian's interest was polite, albeit slightly condescending. We find beauty inspires us, he explained. And yet you travel in a warship, Thalrek remarked, eyes glinting with undisguised amusement. Contradictory, is it not? It's a vessel of peace as much as defense, Marco chimed in. It represents our commitment to protect what we value. Thalrek nodded slowly. And today you choose to show us beauty and food instead of strength. Amusing and clever. The group reached the dining area, where tables were laden with dishes carefully selected to cater to Varelian dietary needs. Nathan invited Thalrek to sample a delicacy, a gesture of goodwill. Relcher hesitated before tasting, then nodded appreciatively. You honor us with your efforts, Captain Reed. Perhaps there is more to humans than we anticipated. Thank you, Nathan said, allowing himself a small smile. We hope by the end of this visit, you will see us as potential friends, not just quaint relics of the cosmos. The Varelians moved through the exhibits, their demeanor thawing slightly with each display. It was clear the event was having an effect, subtle but real. As the delegation prepared to leave, Thalrek paused. Your efforts have been noted, Captain Reed. We will remember this encounter. Nathan nodded, satisfied. As will we. Safe travels, Thalrek. Watching the Varelians depart, Nathan felt a cautious optimism. They had shown their guests a side of humanity that went beyond technology and firepower, a testament to their depth and creativity. Let's hope they understand what they've seen today, he mused aloud. Marco grinned. They won't be mocking us for much longer, sir. Not after today. Back on the bridge of the Defiant, Captain Nathan Reed and his crew were reviewing the feedback from the Varelian visit. Lieutenant Marco Silva was particularly interested in the polite but reserved reactions of their guests. Captain, the Varelians seemed intrigued, but I can't tell if we made a real impact or if they're just being diplomatic, Marco commented, looking over the cultural exchange report. Nathan nodded thoughtfully. It's hard to read them, but we did what we could to present humanity in a different light. Now, we wait and see how they digest it all. Ensign Kyle, always eager to learn from these interactions, piped up from his station. Do you think they'll want to engage further, sir? Maybe they'll invite us to see their world next. That would be an interesting turn of events, Nathan mused. But for now, we focus on our next move. Marco set a course for the Helios system. Let's keep our mission going while we wait for their response. As the Defiant cruised through space, Officer Gomez approached Nathan with a new idea. Captain, while we're waiting on the Varelians, why not prepare a second round of cultural materials? Something deeper, maybe personal stories from the crew about why we explore the stars. Nathan considered this. Personal stories, you say? That might indeed strike a chord with them. It's worth a try. Gather the crew in the mess hall tonight. We'll start putting together our narratives. That evening, the mess hall buzzed with energy as the crew gathered to share their stories. Nathan kicked off the session, setting a tone of camaraderie and openness. I want everyone to think about what brought you here, he began. Not just to the Defiant, but to the stars. What drives you? What dreams do you chase? Let's show the Varelians that our mission is more than just exploration, it's personal. One by one, crew members stood to share their tales. Marco talked about his grandfather, who had been a pioneer in early space colonization. He always said space was humanity's next great canvas. I guess I wanted to add my own strokes to that picture. Kyle shared his younger days' fascination with alien planets from books and movies. I used to stare up at the stars and wonder if someone out there was looking back at me. Joining the fleet was my way of reaching out, trying to bridge that vast distance. As each story unfolded, Gomez recorded the narratives, planning to compile them into a presentation for the Varelians. Nathan watched, proud of his crew's enthusiasm and depth. These stories, they show who we are, Nathan said as the session wrapped up. Let's make sure they resonate beyond the hull of this ship. The next day, Gomez presented a draft of the compiled stories. I've woven our narratives with visuals of Earth and our journeys in space. It's ready to send as a digital time capsule, if we get the chance. Nathan reviewed the presentation, impressed with the heartfelt depth. Send it to the Varelians as an update to our cultural exchange. Let them see the faces and hear the voices behind our mission. Weeks passed, and finally, a response came from the Varelians. Thalrek's voice, now familiar, came through the communication system. Captain Reed, we have received your latest transmission. Your stories are compelling. We invite you to meet us at the neutral zone of Andera. There is much to discuss. Nathan exchanged a satisfied look with Marco and Gomez. Prepare the ship, gentlemen. It looks like our stories might have opened a new chapter with the Varelians after all. As the Defiant set a course for Andera, hope mingled with anticipation. The personal touch had made an impact, possibly paving the way for a deeper connection with the Varelians. The neutral zone of Andera was a space station at the intersection of several galactic trade routes, making it a hub of activity and a melting pot of cultures. As the Defiant approached, Captain Nathan Reed prepared his crew for what might be their most crucial diplomatic effort yet. Remember, everyone, the goal here is to deepen our understanding and respect for each other's cultures. Nathan briefed his team in the conference room. Lieutenant Marco Silva, Officer Gomez, and Ensign Kyle nodded, each aware of the significance of this meeting. The Varelian delegation was already waiting in Andera's main hall when the humans arrived. Thalrek greeted them with a nod, his demeanor showing a hint of newfound respect. Captain Reed, welcome to Andera. We are prepared to show you some aspects of Varelian culture. We hope this exchange will be as enlightening for you as your stories were for us, Thalrek said, gesturing toward an exhibition area set up with Varelian artifacts. Nathan smiled, grateful for the opportunity. Thank you, Thalrek. We look forward to learning more about your people. The tour began with Varelian art, a series of holographic images that floated in the air, shifting shapes and colors in a mesmerizing display. Our art is dynamic, reflecting the ever-changing nature of knowledge and existence, explained Relsher, who had taken a particular interest in human cultural expressions. It's fascinating, Gomez remarked, recording the exhibit with his device. It's so different from our static paintings and sculptures. As they moved through the exhibit, Kyle whispered to Marco, "Do you think they use these as a form of meditation or something?" "It's possible," Marco replied. "Art can be a gateway to deeper understanding or contemplation." The next section was dedicated to Varelian music, which, unlike human music, was composed of frequencies beyond the normal human auditory range. Special devices were provided to the humans to perceive these sounds. "This is our sacred music, used in many of our ceremonies," Thalrek explained as they listened to the haunting, ethereal sounds. Nathan was deeply moved. "It's incredibly beautiful. There's a purity to it that's very striking." The Varelians seemed pleased with the reaction. "We are glad you appreciate it. Music connects us to the cosmos," said Thalrek. After the music presentation, the humans shared another aspect of their culture. This time, Nathan had brought a selection of human literature, translated into the Varelian language. "We brought works from various human epics and styles, hoping to offer a glimpse into our soul," Nathan said as he handed a data tablet to Thalrek. Thalrek accepted the tablet, browsing through the titles. "Literature. This is a form of art we find curious. The idea of storytelling to convey truth and emotion is intriguing." Gomez, who had become somewhat of a cultural liaison, added, "Stories help us make sense of our world and our place in it. They teach, entertain, and inspire." As the exchange drew to a close, Nathan invited the Varelians to a human-style dinner prepared by the Defiant chefs, featuring dishes designed to be safely consumable by both species. Over dinner, the conversations deepened. Nathan and Thalrek discussed potential collaborative projects, while Marco, Kyle, and Gomez shared more personal stories with other Varelian delegates. As they parted ways at the end of the evening, Thalrek expressed his gratitude. "This has been a most productive exchange. Perhaps it is the beginning of a true understanding between our peoples." Nathan nodded, feeling a sense of accomplishment. "I hope so, Thalrek. Let's continue this journey together." Back on the Defiant, the crew was upbeat. "I think we made some real progress today," Nathan said, looking at his officers. "Definitely," Marco agreed. "It's amazing what can happen when you open up and share a bit of your world." The chapter closed with the crew of the Defiant feeling hopeful about their future relations with the Varelians. their efforts at cultural diplomacy bearing the first fruits of mutual respect and understanding. The Defiant remained docked at the Andera station as preparations for a second cultural exchange were underway. Captain Nathan Reed had extended their stay, sensing the potential for a deeper relationship with the Varelians. In the ship's conference room, Nathan sat with Lieutenant Marco Silva and Officer Gomez, planning the day's events. Today, let's focus on the personal aspects of our culture. The Varelians responded well to our stories last time. I think we should continue in that vein, Nathan suggested. Marco nodded in agreement. I'll arrange for some of our crew to share personal artifacts, photos, mementos, things that mean something significant to them. It could give the Varelians insight into our individual lives. Good idea, Nathan said, turning to Gomez. And what about you, Gomez? Any thoughts on how to enhance the communication today? Gomez adjusted his glasses thoughtfully. I was thinking about setting up a real-time translation device during our interactions. It might make our conversations flow more smoothly and help us catch nuances we've been missing. Nathan approved the plan. Make it so. Let's make every effort to bridge the gap between our languages and cultures. As the Varelians arrived, they were greeted with a new setup. A small, intimate circle of chairs was arranged in the Defiant's observation lounge, with Earth and Varelia's images rotating gently on the screens around the room. Nathan met Thalrek with a warm smile. Welcome back to the Defiant, Thalrek. Today, we thought we might share more about who we are, not just as a crew, but as individuals, Nathan explained. Thalrek nodded, his expression one of genuine curiosity. We are prepared to learn, Captain Reed. One by one, crew members stood to share their stories. Ensign Kyle presented a series of photographs from Earth, oceans, mountains, and cities. Each of these places has a story, a part of my history. This is where I learned to swim, and here's where I climbed my first mountain, he shared, pointing to the images. Marco shared a handcrafted watch, passed down through generations. This was my great-grandfather's. It doesn't just tell time, it tells history and connects me to my past. As the human crew shared, the Varelians listened, their demeanor softening, their engagement palpable. Moved by the openness, Relcher, a member of the Varelian delegation, brought out a small, shimmering object. In the spirit of sharing, this is a Varelian memory orb. It holds recordings of our planet's history. The orb was activated, displaying breathtaking landscapes of Varelia, vast crystalline forests and towering spires that glowed under their twin suns. The room was filled with soft, melodic sounds, part of the orb's experience. Nathan was visibly touched. It's beautiful, Relcher. Thank you for sharing this with us. As the session concluded, Thalrek approached Nathan. This exchange has been most enlightening. Your willingness to share personal histories is unexpected and compelling. It brings a new dimension to our dialogues. Nathan smiled. We're glad to hear that, Thalrek. We believe that understanding each other's histories and values can lead to a stronger, more meaningful connection. The Varelians lingered longer than planned, discussing potential future exchanges and expressing a desire to replicate the session's format on their own ship. Back in the privacy of his office, Nathan debriefed with Marco and Gomez. Today was a success. We've not only shown them our culture, but our hearts. Let's hope this leads to a lasting friendship. Marco looked thoughtful. It feels like we're part of something groundbreaking here, Captain. Gomez nodded in agreement. It's more than just diplomacy. It's genuine intercultural connection. As the Defiant prepared to depart from Andera, there was a sense of accomplishment and anticipation of what might come next in their ongoing journey with the Varelians. The crew knew they had taken significant steps towards something much greater than a mere alliance. They were weaving a tapestry of shared understanding and respect. The cultural exchanges had begun to resonate deeply within the crews of both the Defiant and the Varelian vessel. Ensign Kyle noticed the changes first, during a routine maintenance check with Varelian engineers aboard their ship. I never thought I'd be here working side by side with you, Kyle said, passing a tool to his Varelian counterpart, Zarel. Zarel accepted the tool with a nod. Our interactions have opened new pathways. Your stories, they have sparked discussions among us about the value of personal connections. Kyle smiled, pleased. I'm glad to hear that. It feels like we're starting to really understand each other. Back on the Defiant, Captain Nathan Reed met with Lieutenant Marco Silva in his office to discuss the broader implications of their deepening relationship with the Varelians. Marco, have you noticed a shift in the crew's attitude since we started this cultural exchange? Nathan asked, looking over the latest crew reports. Marco nodded, leaning back in his chair. Definitely. There's a sense of camaraderie that wasn't there before. It's like we've found common ground that goes beyond just formalities. Nathan pondered this. It's interesting. We set out to influence the Varelians, but it seems the interaction is changing us too. The exchange is mutual, Captain. Perhaps that's the real power of cultural diplomacy, Marco suggested. Nathan agreed, his thoughts already turning to future initiatives. We need to keep this momentum going. Let's plan another joint mission. Maybe a scientific endeavor that benefits both our people. Marco was quick to respond. An excellent idea. I'll draft some proposals. The following week, a joint scientific team was formed, and Nathan invited Thalrek to discuss the venture. Thalrek, we've seen great potential in our cooperation. We propose a joint mission to study a nearby nebula. It could yield important scientific data for both our civilizations, Nathan explained during their meeting. Thalrek considered the proposal carefully. A joint mission represents a significant commitment. However, your previous initiatives have been fruitful. We are prepared to participate. With the mission approved, preparations began in earnest. Human and Varelian scientists worked together, sharing techniques and theories. Officer Gomez, who would become an informal cultural ambassador, observed the interactions with interest. It's fascinating to see how our different approaches to science complement each other, he remarked to a group of human and Varelian researchers during a briefing. One of the Varelian scientists, a specialist in cosmic phenomena, replied, "Indeed, your human perspective is unique to us. It challenges some of our assumptions and enriches our understanding." As the mission day approached, Nathan reviewed the final plans with his senior staff. This is more than just a scientific expedition. It's a testament to what we can achieve together. Let's make sure it's a success. Marco always focused on the details, double-checked everything. All systems are go, Captain. The team is ready. The joint mission was a resounding success, with significant data collected that promised new insights into cosmic phenomena. The collaboration seemed to mark a turning point in human-Varelian relations. After the mission, Thalrek met with Nathan again. "Captain Reed, your initiative has proven invaluable. It seems we underestimated humans initially. Your capacity for innovation and cooperation is impressive." Nathan accepted the compliment graciously. "Thank you, Thalrek. We've learned a great deal from you as well. Let's continue to explore what else we might achieve together." As the Defiant resumed its journey, there was a palpable sense of optimism aboard. The crew felt they were not just traveling through space, but also toward a new frontier of interstellar partnership and understanding. As the Defiant continued its journey through space, the crew enjoyed a brief period of routine operations, which gave Captain Nathan Reed and his officers time to reflect on their recent successes with the Varelians. During a senior staff meeting, Nathan opened the discussion with a thoughtful tone. "We've come a long way in our relations with the Varelians. I think it's time we consider what our long-term objectives should be with them." Lieutenant Marco Silva, looking over the data from their joint missions, agreed. "The scientific and cultural exchanges have been more successful than I initially anticipated. We're seeing real benefits, both practical and diplomatic." Officer Gomez, who had been instrumental in facilitating the exchanges, added, "There's an increased level of trust between our crews. I believe we're at the point where more strategic cooperation could be possible." Ensign Kyle, always keen on understanding alien technology, chimed in, "Their technology has some fascinating aspects that could significantly enhance our capabilities, especially in propulsion and navigation." Nathan nodded thoughtfully. "Let's draft a proposal for a technology sharing program. Marco, work with Kyle and Gomez on that. I want something concrete to present to the Varelians within the week." As preparations for the proposal were underway, Nathan received a surprising invitation from Thalrek to visit the Varelian vessel. "Captain Reed, we would like to share something important with you." Thalrek's message conveyed both urgency and warmth. Upon arriving at the Varelian ship with Marco and Gomez, Nathan was greeted by Thalrek, who seemed more solemn than usual. "Captain, today we share with you the heart of our ship, something we have shown to no other species." They were led to a central chamber where a large, pulsating crystal dominated the room. "This crystal is the core of our ship's power, but more than that, it's a repository of our collective knowledge and history," Thalrek explained. Nathan was awestruck. "This is incredible. It's like a living library." "Yes, and it's more. It also records all that we learn from others. Our interactions with humans have been added to its matrix. We wanted you to see this because your influence on us has been profound. Marco, deeply interested in technology, asked, "Has our interaction altered this data repository in any way?" Thalrek nodded. "Indeed it has. The crystal adapts and evolves with new knowledge. It has learned from you for humanity's resilience and creativity." Gomez, fascinated by the cultural implications, questioned, "And what has it taught you about us that you didn't know before?" Thalrek's eyes gleamed with a mix of respect and newfound understanding. That true strength lies not in armaments or conquest, but in the ability to connect, to understand, and to share. This has reshaped our approach to other species. The revelation struck a chord with Nathan. It seems we have taught each other much. Perhaps this could be the foundation for a new era of cooperation between our peoples. Thalrek agreed. That is our hope. We are beginning to see that our future, perhaps the future of many races, might better be shaped by cooperation rather than solitude. Back on the Defiant, Nathan shared the insights from the visit with his crew. Today, we learned that our journey with the Varelians isn't just about diplomacy or science. It's about building a legacy of understanding and mutual respect. Marco was enthusiastic about the potential. With this new understanding, our partnership could lead to advancements we can't yet even imagine. Nathan concluded the meeting with a decisive nod. Let's continue this path. The next chapter in human-Varelian relations is just beginning, and it looks promising. The crew of the Defiant felt a renewed sense of purpose as they prepared for the challenges and opportunities that lay ahead, knowing that their interactions had begun to change the fabric of interstellar relations in ways they had only hoped for. The Defiant glided through space, its path illuminated by the stars that had once seemed distant and cold but now felt like beacons guiding the way to a new chapter of interstellar collaboration. Captain Nathan Reed stood on the bridge, watching the cosmos unfold before him, a reflective mood in his eyes. Lieutenant Marco Silva approached Nathan, holding a digital pad with the latest communications from the Varelian leadership. "Captain, the Varelians have responded to our proposal for a technology sharing program. They're not just in agreement. They want to expand the program to include joint exploratory missions." Nathan turned, a slight smile breaking through his contemplative demeanor. "That's excellent news, Marco. It seems our efforts have truly opened doors we didn't even know existed." Officer Gomez, who had been preparing the cultural integration report, joined the conversation. "It's more than just technology and missions now. There's talk of an intercultural symposium where we could explore not just each other's technology, but also deeper societal structures and philosophies." Ensign Kyle piped up from his station. "I've been talking with some of the Varelian engineers. They're as excited as I am about the potential discoveries waiting for us out there. It feels like we're on the brink of something big." Nathan nodded, his gaze returning to the starfield. "It's the dawn of a new era, gentlemen. Our collaboration could serve as a model for other species. Imagine a galaxy where cooperation is the norm, not conflict." Marco looked thoughtful. "It's a big dream, Captain. But if anyone can make it happen, it's us and the Varelians. We've come a long way from the initial mockery to mutual respect." The crew's discussion was interrupted by an incoming transmission. Thalrek's voice came through, clear and composed. "Captain Reed, we are approaching your coordinates. We are looking forward to beginning our first joint mission under this new agreement." Nathan responded, "We are ready, Thalrek. Let's make history together." As the Varelian ship came into view, its sleek form gliding effortlessly through space, the crew of the Defiant prepared to welcome their counterparts. The docking procedure was smooth, a testament to the technological strides both sides had made. Thalrek and his team stepped onto the Defiant, and Nathan greeted them at the airlock. "Welcome aboard, Thalrek. We have much to discuss and plan." The group moved to the conference room, where maps of potential exploration targets were displayed. Nathan and Thalrek sat at the head of the table, flanked by their senior officers. "As we chart out these missions, let's also think about what each side brings to the table. Not just in terms of technology, but also in terms of perspectives and insights," Nathan suggested. Thalrek agreed. "Indeed, Captain. Our initial interactions, while rocky at first, have taught us that there is immense value in diversity of thought and experience." The meeting progressed with discussions on logistics, objectives, and the deeper implications of their partnership. It was decided that the first mission would be to a recently discovered star system that might hold habitable planets. As the meeting concluded, Thalrek stood, extending his hand to Nathan. Captain Reed, today marks a significant moment in our shared history. Let us move forward with the knowledge that together, we are more than the sum of our parts. Nathan shook his hand firmly. Agreed, Thalrek. Here's to a future where our children will know a universe of unity and exploration. The phrase that had once echoed through the corridors of the Defiant. Aliens mock human worship. They won't be doing that anymore. Now seemed a distant memory, replaced by a new motto of understanding and cooperation. As the Defiant and the Varelian ship set their course together, the stars ahead seemed brighter than ever, a vast expanse of possibilities unfolding before them.